I'm delighted this evening to be with Jay Howard. I'm so used to saying Auction House London. I'm thinking, how can I not say Auction House London? Because I've done so many videos. Um, I'm in mourning now. I can't say that. Yourpropertyauctions.co.uk is the way to connect with Jay and PR. Jay and PR are the co-founders of yourpropertyauctions.co.uk.
It's .com. It's .com.
.com. Okay. So look, Jay, I'm delighted that yourself and PR will be at the Commercial Property Summit. We did a video the other day, and apologies, it didn't seem to record properly. It's always best the first time, but let's enhance it the second time even more. I'm not sure how we can get it to be even better. Look, in terms of what we discussed was the differences between commercial and residential auctions. So the buying process, as you say, is similar, but its differences, from what I remember, in terms of the due diligence, is one of the key aspects. Do you want to just elaborate on that?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's the same if you were a residential landlord investor, and if you were a commercial landlord investor, you'd be looking at different things. It requires a different type of due diligence. It's the same thing if you're a developer. If you're a developer, the due diligence you use is completely different to residential due diligence and commercial due diligence. So it's just something to be aware of. You're normally looking at a different type of asset class, and normally a different type of seller, and definitely a different type of buyer. So it's a completely different world. It works exactly the same way.
But Jay, wouldn't you argue, and this was a conversation I had with Daryl last night, even though it didn't record either, so apologies to Daryl Norker from Lenwell. We were discussing about, the differences in commercial. You can't treat all commercial the same, even if it's retail, because it depends what level you're investing at as well. And
yeah, that's absolutely correct. It's the same for residential as well. That mindset, you wouldn't treat single let the same way you treat multi let. You wouldn't, you wouldn't treat title splitting the same way you would as having a whole block of flats. You take a different approach based on what it is, what poison you prefer in terms of commercial. So if you're looking at high street investments, you're probably looking at something that's yielding with a good covenant, a nice long FRI lease. If you're looking secondary or tertiary parade, or you're looking at something mixed use, your approach would be quite dramatically different. So it's probably that level of intensity of knowledge and experience that you need to do commercial investing well. I hope a lot of the people that you have speaking at the Commercial Property Summit are going to kind of go into a little bit more detail to kind of make commercial property a little bit more available to a wider range of people.
Because Ranjan's perspective, and I don't want to put words in his mouth, but he said you can do things with 200k, where people think you may not be able to. His argument is, yes, you can do stuff. You don't.
You can buy commercial property for £50,000. I mean, it depends where, what, and how, really. But yeah, so for 200k, you could, when we do the pre-auction YouTubes with Ranjan, we do normally have at least one or two commercial properties in there. I think in the last one there are quite a few that were under £200,000, and depending on what you were going to do with it, they look like very, very attractive deals. So absolutely, it's not a cost, or it's not a value restrictor, commercial property. What the restrictor is, that it's quite a bit more difficult. It requires
quite a bit more difficult in terms of
from residential.
But in terms of, is it the valuation which is more difficult?
No, it's knowing what to do. People perceive residential to be quite easy. I think that's something that's changing with all of the new legislation and rules coming through, especially for service accommodation and HMOs and things like that, and any kind of let property on a business to customer relationship. The benefit of commercial property is it's business to business. So you don't have as many restrictions. but you do have to understand the rules and responsibilities because they are different. So it's having that knowledge. I think knowledge is the barrier to people getting involved in commercial property, not the price point of the properties or the valuations you go through to pick a property up.
Jay, look, I won't ask you too many more questions on this, but you do have a good case study yourself in terms of a commercial deal you've done recently through PR and I believe one other partner, Rod Turner. Do you want to just elaborate briefly on that in about 1 minute?
In 1 minute?
No, in 1 minute. You've got 60 seconds.
I've got 60 seconds, okay. So this is a row of workshops in the Tooting Mitcham border. It was purchased out of auction, Harman Healy, in September for £212,000, producing £14,700 of income, so that's approximately a 7% yield.
So key thing you mentioned, pre-auction. Did I get that right?
No, we bought it at the auction, physically at auction for £212,000 after a bidding war. So Piotr and Rod went to the physical auction and won it on the day. We had multiple exit strategies. You know how much of a fan we are for things like that. The first exit strategy that we were looking at was to go in for permitted development for change of use. Originally, it was to create 3 residential units. We actually increased that, tried our luck, went for 4, and got a permitted development for 4 residential units. So we'll be looking to go in for stage 2 planning, full planning to outline 4 one-bedroom mews houses. And yeah, that's it really. The permitted development came through, so within in under 3 months, we have probably trebled the value of the site just through the paperwork exercise. So that's something everyone knows that we're fans of. Exit strategy B, if we didn't get the PD straight away, would have been to have re-geared the leases that the tenants were on. Considering where those units are, we're of the opinion that the rent that they're paying is quite below market value. So we'd be looking to increase that, to increase the yield, and then on a yield versus purchase valuation, we'd be looking to sell that for close to 275, 300, and that would have been without the permitted development. So multiple option angles there, commercial property, but it is permitted development to residential. So yeah, it's a very interesting site. It's a very interesting deal. We're all blessed really to be working with each other. You know, Rod is above and beyond a quality guy and knows what he's doing with developments. And myself and Piotr work well together anyway. So it looks like it's going to be a really good partnership.
So Jay, I promise it would be a short video. People can find out more about yourself. Let me just get the domain right, the extension particularly, yourpropertyauctions.co.uk.
No, yourpropertyauctions.com.
.com. Okay.
Yeah. And we're all over social media. I mean, we're everywhere. You know, we're so easy to find and to talk to, and to, you know, if we're not a networking event, we're on a platform. If we're not on a platform, we're on the website. If we're not there, we're at the office. Auction. So just come by. Yeah. Or at the auction. We went to 2 auctions today. So yeah.
Wow, 2 auctions. Okay. Okay, interesting. Look, I won't delay you anymore. Massive thanks for taking time out on Saturday, the 7th of March, which is the Commercial Property Summit. So both yourself and your partner will be there, Piotr Ruskanek. So massive thanks for taking time out, Jay, and thanks to our listeners as well. Thank you.
Absolute pleasure. Thank you.